It is 7 o'clock. We will now open our September 12th Town Council meeting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Johnny.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you could all stay standing for a moment, I just want to have a moment of silence. Yesterday, as I'm sure you all know, was the 22nd anniversary of the tragedy on 9/11. So we get up just a moment of silence now. Okay, thank you. Okay, we will move right on to item C, presentations and recognitions. Do we have any of those?
No, we don't.
Okay. Item D, public hearing. Kathy. Barbie.
Hey. Maureen, do you happen to have a copy of the legal notice there? I noticed it wasn't in the thing. We can read it. Well, Pat can pull it out, find it while I,
Oh, I do have it here.
yeah.
It'll be on my thing. Oh, much better. Thank you, Constance. I don't think I've ever seen it. It's not on the agenda? No. I didn't realize it.
Procedurally, we have it. I'll go through the public hearing and Kat can
Okay.
track it down and we'll read it after. All right, and Kat, then if we can, sorry about that. Sorry. Good evening, I'm Kathy Blonsky, Town Manager. Tonight we're having a public hearing to amend Chapter 148, Town-Owned Property. And Kat, you're going to move the slides too, right? Yep.
Yep.
Per Connecticut General Statute 7148C-7H, municipalities have the right to prohibit the consumption of tobacco and cannabis in public areas. Proposed amendment. On the screen, you will see that the only proposed changes to Chapter 148 are presented in red text. In summary, the proposed amendment would prohibit the smoking of tobacco, regardless of form, and the use of cannabis or cannabis-derived products on any property owned or controlled by the town of Farmington, with the exception of Westwood's Golf Course. Currently, the ordinance does not include language that prohibits the smoking of tobacco in any form on town property. However, the town's current practice is to only allow the smoking of tobacco at Westwood's Golf Course. This amendment codifies the current rules regarding the smoking of tobacco. Lastly, the use of cannabis at Westwood's Golf Course will follow the same rules as the use of tobacco. Thank you, and I will now take any questions from the public.
Okay, if there's anyone here present in the council chambers who would like to ask a question, please do so at this time. Seeing none. Kat, do we have anyone online with their hand raised to ask a question?
We do not.
We do not. Okay, we have no questions.
Typically, you close the public hearing and the council asks questions at the agenda item.
Correct. Okay, we will move on to item E, new items. Do we have any new items? I don't believe.
Yes.
We do. Go ahead.
We have to add agenda item L21 for reappointment to Farmington Historic.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, now it is time for item F, public comments, where we ask the public to make comments on any topic this evening. If you could please keep your comments limited to 5 minutes in consideration of others who may have questions. Is there anyone here present in the council chambers who would like to ask a question? Seeing none, we will move online. Is there anyone online who has their hand raised who would like to ask a question?
I do not see any hands raised.
Okay, last chance. Seeing none, we have no public comment at this meeting. We'll move on to item G, reading of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes from July 11th, 2023, regular town council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Item H, reading of communications and written appeals. Any?
I do not have any.
We have none. Okay, moving on to item I, reports of the committees, 1928 Building Committee.
Yes, we met today. The project is moving along in a timely fashion. Our architect is sitting down with staff, going over and double checking all his information that he needs as far as desks, tables, chairs, etc. And we're doing a little vestibule work too on the original building itself. We had some comments at one of our public meetings about too much glass, so we have a subcommittee now to go back and look at the new vestibule and possibly make it more look like the original building or keep it all glass.
Okay. Farmington High School Building Committee.
As everybody probably saw on the way in tonight, construction is well underway. I was pushing for an under budget and under time frame, but we are on budget and we are on time. So it's a real fluid process right now. We're meeting with some of the committees weekly. Our next building committee is next Wednesday, and next Wednesday at 5 o'clock in the FHS library.
Great, thank you. Green Efforts Committee.
Green efforts, not much to report other than we've been looking into, getting some more members on the committee. We've had some quorum issues lately. A lot of the same subjects that we've been covering with anti-idling signs that have been put up around the school district for people waiting with their cars and their kids and not leaving their cars on, and et cetera. We've put some of the car charger stuff on hold until the high school building committee takes a little bit more hold and more space so we can adequately utilize some of the grants that are out there to get the best bang for our buck.
Great, thank you. Land Acquisition Committee.
Nothing new to report.
Racial Equality Task Force.
Nothing new to report.
Okay, moving on to item J, report of council chair and liaisons. We start with me, the council chair. As we mentioned earlier with our moment of silence, yesterday was 9/11. The Rotary had their 5th annual First Responders Breakfast. It's a very nice event. They invite in all our first responders throughout Farmington and Yukon, hold a breakfast and just show our appreciation for them. Also recognizing the moments of strike while we were all there, of the towers, the 2 strikes there. The Pentagon and the field in Pennsylvania. It's a very nice event they do every day, so I thank the Rotary for holding that. Recently, I just took our local CPR course that we hold on a regular basis. If you have an interest, you can call our town hall and ask them when the next one is. It was a great course. We had about 19 people in there at this point in time, and they go through education on CPR. The other thing we talked about was the AEDs, the electronic defibrillators, which we have in the town hall. We have a number of our buildings throughout town. And this is to assist if you need to actually jolt someone's heart back to life. So we're looking at the best way to let all our citizens know where they are. When you see them, you will notice them. They're usually in a red box, often with a light on it. But those are key to know where they are when you need them. Also, school is now in session, so be cautious of anyone you may see at bus stops and some of the kids walking to and from school. And with that, I'll also say congratulations to Farmington High School, which came out in as number 5 high school in the state and in the top 300 of the entire country, where we have 25,000 schools that were rated, so that's the top 1.15%. So pretty impressive, so congratulations to the high school. A few events going on in town. The Farmington Land Trust this weekend, on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and then on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Saturday is a family day, Sunday is a garden party. These are both held at the Bushley Wilcox Homestead. I would tell you about the dinner on Friday, but it's sold out, so there's no point in mentioning that now. Also, the Stanley Whitman House on September 30th. Tickets are still available for their Farmington Table, a movable feast, so you can reach out to the Stanley Whitman House if you'd like to see that. And for those of you so inclined, at the Community Center, Monday the 18th at 7 p.m., Brian, I'm talking to you, Square dancing. So if you're new, if you've done it before, welcome to everyone.
CJ, you looking for a partner?
I am, Brian. I thought you'd be
Joe's
just the man. And tonight into tomorrow morning, I believe, is a green comet in the sky here in Connecticut, which happens once every 400 years. So it's fairly likely this would be our only opportunity to see it for all of us sitting here.
Good tidings.
With that, I will end the chair report, moving on to conservation and inland wetlands.
So Conservation Inland Wetlands Commissions both met on September 6th. It was unanimously voted and determined that the full-length reconstruction of roadway with drainage improvements on Burlington Road, that's from the Burlington Town Line to Plainville Avenue, is a regulated, non-significant activity and does not require a public hearing. They covered a number of other items as well. Of note, the Farmington West Estates, that's Lot 8678 on Plainville Avenue and Snowberry Lane. The commission voted to accept Farmington West Estates' application for regulated activity within the wetlands and watercourse, and will also be conducting a site walk sometime after the next regularly scheduled meeting. The applicant will be working with the commission to minimize the proposed direct wetland impacts. And they're going to hold off on a determination until after those items have been addressed. There's actually one interesting of note. The East Farms School has a, nobody knows about this unless you have a kid there. At the back, there's like actually a pond with like a walkway. Brian knows what I'm talking about. So it's called the Old Stone Dust Nature Trail. And they're working, I think, with winding trails to kind of clear some of that brush back, because it used to be used as an environmental classroom. It's no longer used in that capacity, so they're trying to clear it up so they can have another area so that the kids can walk.
Great, thank you.
Oh, and Conservation Commission had no new business.
Okay. Board of Education.
Okay. The Farmington Administrators and Supervisors Association, FASA, met with the Board of Ed in August. FASA is an organization that negotiates the salary, benefits, and working conditions for all administrators in Farmington, other than the superintendent, assistant superintendent, and business administrator. So after they had a couple of meetings, there is currently a tentative agreement in place, and the board is going to be reviewing the FASA contract at their next scheduled meeting, which is on September 18th, with action anticipated.
Okay, and there were how many meetings?
I believe there were two, and the third one was canceled. I believe there were two.
Did we have town council presence at those meetings?
No, because the town council representative was ill.
Okay, if that's the case on any of the negotiations, particularly for the teachers, just let someone know, let me know, we'll get somebody there. It's, I sat through the teachers' negotiations years ago, and they really looked to us for some kind of guidance, because as you well know, the Board of Ed is 60% of our budget, their salary is 66% of ours, so they just like to hear us there. So I'm assuming there's another meeting. Just make sure you give them a little input, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you. Bicycle Trails and Advisory Committee, we have not had a meeting. We have one tomorrow night. Economic Development.
Yes, the EDC is hosting their fall business breakfast on Wednesday, September 20th from 7:45 a.m. through 9:30 a.m. at the Farmington Polo Club. The keynote speaker will be Mr. Jagdish Dalal, who will be discussing forces of change. Mr. Dalal is an internationally known speaker and author on management strategies and technology, and is the founder of J. Dalal Associates. Since the Industrial Revolution, businesses have had to address forces of change. What are today's forces of change? How they will impact businesses, and what will business look like in the future? Come to the Fall Business Breakfast and find out how businesses will thrive and survive in a changing world. And the next EDC meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you. Housing Authority.
You missed
Are
Farmington
you-
Historic District.
Oh,
6.
No
I'm
worries.
sorry about that.
That's okay.
I was still thinking about the square dancing, so Farmington Historic District.
Sure, thank you. In our July meeting, it was approved to get some new replacement windows for Ms. Porter's. We didn't have a meeting in August. At our next meeting is going to be next Tuesday, right here, September 19th at 5 p.m. in Chambers.
Very good, thank you. Now Housing Authority.
Nothing to report.
Human Relations.
Human Relations is working on finalizing their meeting schedule and will likely meet either September 18th or September 27th at 7 PM at the Staples House.
Thank you. Library Board.
Nothing to report. We will be meeting on next Wednesday, September 20th.
Thank you. TPZ.
TBZ had a relatively light schedule coming out of the summer with a number of, why am I spacing on it? Proposals for the next meeting. So they voted to have, what am I missing? What's the-
Public hearing.
Public hearing, thank you. I don't know.
problem.
Sorry. So there's a number of public hearings coming up next, the next hearing. This past meeting was reserved for, they had Sager Group and a couple other developers in town to continue the ongoing discussion on affordable housing. And it's expected that the planning office will have a draft or a sample regulation for the commission to review sometime soon. So they're still working on the affordable housing plan. Thank you, Kathy.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you. Unionville Village Improvement Association.
I think you skipped over one there.
Unionville Historic District Commission.
Nothing new to report.
We got the summer off.
We had the summer off.
Easing back into the flow. Easing back into this.
My apologies. So no report for Historic District?
No report for
Okay, now we'll go to the UVIA.
Yes, for UVIA, the Unionville Museum will be showcasing a new exhibit called A Century of Celebrations and Family Fun in Unionville, and that's going to be from September 24th through November 19th on weekends and Wednesdays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The exhibit will chronicle Unionville celebrations, town events, entertainment venues, and ways residents have enjoyed family time and music. And an opening reception will be held on Sunday, September 24th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the museum.
Thank you. Water Pollution Control Authority.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay. Nothing new to report.
Okay, any other liaisons that I skipped over?
You didn't skip over me, but I just wanted to add to your events. There's a Hip Hop at 50 festival that's happening at the Hillstead on October 1st at 3 p.m. They're partnering with the Amistad Center. It is going to be fantastic.
Okay.
The guy that's coming, I've seen him. He's amazing.
Great.
So if anybody's interested, please go to the Hillstead for tickets. And as you all know, this is the 50th year hip hop's birthday. So
Thank you.
you know that, right?
Of course.
Okay.
I see it everywhere.
And Keith is just
Ryan and I
looking
are
very
going hip hop
perplexed.
after we do our square dancing.
I was doing the math, man. I was like, yeah, that's tracks. Yeah.
That's 50.
Okay, report of the town manager.
You have two items in your packet. The first is that we had been recently renewal for our Heart Safe community for another 3 years, so by the Office of Emergency Medical Services and the American Heart Association, so we're pleased that we received our renewal again. And our second item is just to let you know that in August, we submitted a grant application for the 23 STEEP grant. We've requested $500,000 in funding to install a sidewalk on Meadow Road in Farmington, beginning at the intersection of New Britain Avenue and Meadow Road and continuing to Plainville Avenue. This location was chosen because it would connect roughly 165 homes with Westwood's Upper Elementary School and the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail, the Rails to Trails, as well as many local businesses. So it was a very short turnaround that we had to get the grant in, so my staff was able to put something in, and we're hopeful to hear something, I think, in the next month or so.
Great, thank you. Any questions for town manager? Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to accept the report of the town manager.
Second.
we have a motion second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Moving on to item L.
You're up first.
Am I? May I say?
L2.
I'd like to make a motion, L2, that Dave Fox be reappointed. I don't think he was an alternate, though, as a member
No,
of
no,
the
not Dave Fox, the other. Who was the, Dave Fox was,
Inland Wetlands.
I think.
Is that not what we're doing?
Yep.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay.
Stephen Meyer was the alternate, so I don't think Dave Fox was an alternate. I think you're right there.
Right, so it's Dave Fox for Inland Wetlands. Here, what, should I start that over again?
Go ahead, sorry.
No worries.
there.
I'd like to make a motion, agenda item L2, that Mr. Dave Fox be reappointed as a member to the Conservation Inland and Wetlands Commission for a 4-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2027.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
I'd also like to nominate Karen Vibert to the Inland Wetlands Commission as an alternate for the balance of the 4-year term, beginning immediately and ending September 23rd, 2025.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Any Viberts having questions or comments?
Just the family tree.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Do you want to do Danny Kleinman?
I guess I can. Wow, I'm getting all these opportunities today. I'd like to make a motion on agenda item L5 that Daniel Kleinman be appointed as a member to the Economic Development Commission for a 2-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Of course I have it, sorry. It's got that one. That's not me. Sorry.
Okay, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Agenda item L6, make a motion that Bill Wadsworth be reappointed as a member of the Economic Development Commission for a 2-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2025.
Right, and that's,
He just
Just-
switched
Just switched them.
yeah, that's L8.
just to throw us off.
Yeah,
That's
so-
okay. I mean, he can go in
Yeah.
Bob's feet, so that's
Okay,
the L6.
sure.
This one doesn't count.
We have a motion and a second.
Yeah.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Rehearsal.
Well, I think we got Hyde, so.
Okay.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So am I doing L8?
Motion passed unanimously.
Okay.
Next.
Not for Bob Reed, but for Hyde.
Okay. So we're all sorts of,
We're all discombobulated.
we are. It's all CJ's fault.
It's that do-si-do comment you made.
We're going to go back a little bit. I'd like to make a motion for agenda item L7, that Thomas Hyde be appointed as a member to the Economic Development Commission for a 2-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2025.
Second?
And I believe he's a reappointment as well.
Yes. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
And then for the flip-flop for agenda item L8, make a motion that Bob Reed be reappointed as a member of the Economic Development Commission, 2-year term, beginning October 1st, 2023, ending September 30th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
I'd like to make a motion, agenda item L9, that Nancy Fitzgerald be appointed to the Greater Hartford Transit District for the balance of the 4-year term beginning immediately and ending June 30th, 2026.
Second.
The suspense was killing us. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Is that Nancy Fitzgerald from Butternut Lane?
I think she is.
Great lady.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that. We'll pass it along. Hopefully she's listening.
Good friend's mom, yeah, she's a great lady.
Okay. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
I'd like to make another motion, agenda item L16, that Lisa Johnson be reappointed as a member of the Unionville Historic District and Properties Commission for a 5-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2028.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Another agenda item, can you believe it? Agenda item L7, that
17.
17, Jesus, that Stephen Meyer be reappointed as an alternate member, is he an alternate, though, of
Yeah.
Unionville Historic District and Properties Commission for a 3-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item L18, make a motion that Angela Munson be appointed as a member of the Veterans Memorial Committee for a balance of a 6-year term, beginning immediately and ending September 30th, 2028.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Just one comment. If we have any veterans out there, or if you know any friends who are veterans, we still have some openings on this commission. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
And agenda item L21, make a motion that Cliff Mix be reappointed as a member of the Farmington Historic Commission for a 5-year term beginning October 1st, 2023, ending September 30th, 2028.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Moving on to item M. M1. Kathy.
M1, I make a motion to authorize the town manager to sign an agreement between the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation and the town of Farmington to lease the premises of the northeast side of Connecticut Route 4, Farmington Avenue, also known as Parsons property, containing approximately 2.44 acres.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
As
Kathy.
you know, this is old business, and we talked about it at length at the last meeting. Just on the note, I'll just review that. The information was reviewed at the July 11, 2023 Town Council meeting. I've spoken with the president of the Farmington Historical Society. He informed me that he's spoken with representatives from the Department of Transportation. After his conversation, he indicated that the Farmington Historical Society had no objection to the town moving forward with the lease agreement as presented. I asked the town council to authorize me to sign the agreement to expedite this process. It should be noted that there may be minor changes to the agreement based on a final review from the state and from the town. And I also anticipate that there could possibly be amendments later on of the agreement. I think I left at everyone's places. Jay Bombara wrote just a correspondence, basically confirming what I just said with a little bit more detail. So again, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions, but I think this is our best option at this point for the Parsons property, and I'd recommend that you authorize me to sign the lease with the state of Connecticut.
Okay, questions or comments?
As it stands right now, it's the same as we saw in June.
Exactly the
Okay.
same, yes.
Any other questions? Okay. Okay. Give me a minute. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Motion and a second?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. N.
Agenda item N1, make a motion to support the amendment to the Town of Farmington Plan of Conservation and Development to expand the Southern Health Center neighborhood planning study to include 16 Munson Road and 111 South Road.
Second.
Motion and a second. Kathy?
There's quite a lot of backup here, but I have Shannon here that's going to, I think, summarize the information for you all. Thanks for coming, Shannon, appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shannon Rutherford, your town planner, just for the record. Yes, as Kathy mentioned, we're looking to do an amendment to the Plan of Conservation and Development. The amendment is to expand the Southern Health Center neighborhood study to include 16 Munson Road, which is the Hubline building, and 111 South Road, the UAW building. The Southern Health Center study was originally approved in 2016, which was included in totality in the 2018 addendum to the POCD. And with that study, there was a recommendation to create the medical office floating overlay zone, and it was very specific to the area to include Middle Road, South Road, and Munson, that block. And this request before you this evening, and that the TPZ is considering, is to add 2 additional properties to that zone and area. And we have to modify our POCD, and then it'll go to Town Plan and Zoning Commission so that they can then consider that and modify their POCD and then the zone regulation. So the zone regulation is consistent with the POCD. The properties are already zoned professional office and are being used as professional office buildings. So this switch to the medical office research zone just allows some additional flexibility with the use of the property. And TPZ will be proceeding in their normal public hearing process. All the notices were sent in July, and they're slated to be on the TPZ agenda on September 27th to host the public hearing.
And just one thing, Shannon, I missed it if you said it at the very beginning, but one of the things that, because they're changing the Plan of Conservation and Development, the town council has to look at this, and this is somewhat before it goes to the TPZ. And if you guys know that, we send things for an 8-24 to the TPZ, and then they come back. So it's sort of the opposite now. We're reviewing something because they're changing the POCD, and then it goes back to the TPZ for their final approval. And so it's just the opposite of when we do it send something to the TPZ for an 8-24 referral.
Correct. Town council in this case is advisory to
Yes.
TPZ, correct. So thus the hearing will be held with TPZ.
Questions for Shannon?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, Shannon, thank you for coming. There's no actual change, it's just sort of like a formality at this point because the two
Correct.
properties are zoned as medical offices?
Correct. So right now, the properties are zoned as professional office, our PR zone. So this change to the POCD will allow then the change to a medical office research floating zone. So the difference, it's a nuance with the allowed uses in each of the zones and the setback requirements. So some of the dimensional requirements as they actually utilize the property. So it'll allow for a surgery center, which the current zone would not. So there are some nuances that allow some additional flexibility with the property. But again, it would be fairly consistent with how it's being utilized today.
But does that mean that like a surgery center will be built on that site or?
It depends on what the developer chooses to do with the property.
Okay.
Other questions, Brian?
Just a quick question. As I read through this material, does that change the ability of the property to be used for residents?
It was never permitted for residents.
Okay. Is it, when that
And
change?
it's already being used as the UAW building and the Hubline building, so they're heavily used as large commercial office buildings.
Okay. So that, changing this over, which is nice. You still can't do any residential there.
Not with this zone change, correct?
Okay, just curious.
Or
Thank you.
consideration, correct. Yep.
Other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank
Motion
you.
passes.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you. Agenda item N2, make a motion to approve a temporary construction/grading easement and a permanent retaining wall easement in favor of 80 South Road, LLC, Sager Development, LLC, over property owned by the town of Farmington at 94 South Road, east of Farmington Fire Station.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Kathy?
You have the note in front of you, but Russ Arnold, our Director of Public Works and Town Engineer, is going to give you a summary on this agenda item.
Bless you. First you speak, then we tell you.
I have so many questions.
I have questions.
I knew you would.
About
That's what
this
I'm here for
topic.
tonight.
About this topic.
Good evening, Russ Arnold, Town Engineer, Director of Public Works. The easement here is to basically allow Metro or Sager Development to attach their retaining wall to our retaining wall on the east side of the East Farms Fire Department building. Their property line is about 6 feet off. Where they're going to build to is about 6 feet off of our retaining wall or on our property line. So it makes sense to make the connection over that 6 feet so a maintenance issue doesn't come back and haunt us in between the two properties. It would be really difficult to maintain with the slope, and this way they can make the connection and backfill it, and it'll just be a easier maintenance perspective on our point.
So their wall is going to connect over our property to connect with our wall.
correct.
And so we're getting an easement,
We're giving them an easement to
giving
make
them
that
an
connection
easement to
for
make
us.
that
We're
connection
requesting.
for us.
Correct.
So,
We're
because you didn't
requesting.
want to have one wall here and one wall here and have nothing in between.
Correct.
So
And the
you're
slope is
connecting
there,
it.
it'd be difficult to be maintained, it's just collect a bunch
So
of.
we asked them for an easement, and so they're going to come across on our property.
Correct.
And connect to our wall.
Correct.
Right.
Rose, is the majority of that fill? And basically, we're going to fill in between the two walls?
Correct. You're talking, from me to Johnny,
Yeah.
or about 25 feet. So it's not
Other
bad.
questions? Comments?
That's it.
Russ, thank you.
Thank you.
Wait.
No,
This optic?
no, will you permit me just to ask one really quick question on a separate
On the
topic?
wall, about the retaining wall?
Not
Okay, I'll
anything
tell
to
you
do-
what. If I can guess the topic, then no, you can't.
Okay, go.
Roundabout?
Dang it.
Oh, come on. That's too easy.
Just a quick question. We would have been done asking the question.
Russ, go
Okay,
ahead.
I know that it's not the town of Farmington putting the roundabout in. I know it's a
Yes,
state
it
of...
is.
That's not what you told me the last time.
That is not true.
Okay, let's go back then.
We're not funding it.
Okay, got it. We're putting in there.
Yes.
Let me be clear, sir. We are putting, yes. So can I ask, the question is it going to be, there's a lot of real estate there because, we have the temporary cones and the things up.
Yeah.
Is the idea to have like a double lanes going in? Because there's like that nice round thing. Yes, no, it's not the roundabout, but it's got a pretty little planter and stones in it.
Yes.
But it seems like there's a lot of like
Real estate,
space.
there is.
Yes, in between the planter and the actual roundabout.
Correct.
So is that how that's going to be, or it's going to be 2 lanes? Because, you go around and you could go left to get on, to 84, or you can go right to go down to Yukon. So they're not going to be 2 lanes, it's just one.
One lane. That area that you're talking about, it's called the truck apron. So when a tractor trailer comes through, they'll be able to, their trailer will ride up onto the apron. It's not intended for single car use. 'Cause the
Define
tractor trailers-
apron. Okay, so the little abutment or like that little ledge, okay, lip.
Very good detail.
There you go.
Like if you go on Westwoods, like Westwoods has that little, it's like a 3-foot area, right, of.
Okay,
Right.
got it. Okay, so that,
It's a mountable apron, a mountable curb.
Okay.
And the back end of the tractor trailer will be able to ride around that as they go through the roundabout,
okay.
because the lane is too narrow for a tractor trailer.
All right, and then, I know I said I'd won, but I get a freebie. When is it going to be done?
Wait a minute.
Just freebie. You buy one, you get one free.
I didn't buy one, though.
I know, but
Go ahead.
To return it.
will it be done soon-ish?
When do you want it done?
Well, I'm just asking, the school buses, you got to be, I'm riding behind the school bus.
They can get through it.
I know they
Why are
can,
you
but
riding
their whole
behind
time.
the school? The kids are supposed to be on the bus.
She's going to work.
I am going to work. I got to get the kid on the bus so I can go.
Yeah, so we're looking probably middle of November, Thanksgiving to be done.
Okay, thank you.
I'm all said and done.
Those are all the questions I have
Sure?
today. It is.
Don't ask again, Russ. Go sit down. Thank you.
Run.
And
Agenda item N3, make a motion to amend Chapter 148, Town-Owned Property of the Farmington Town Code as attached.
Second.
a motion, a second. Kathy?
Just so everyone, we did do a legal notice, and one was in the paper, so we do have a copy of that, so anyway. We had the public hearing and the presentation. I'm not sure if there's any questions. It's pretty straightforward.
This was brought, we are sort of just getting ahead of this issue, right? This isn't in response to something?
No.
Just
No.
with the new state regulations?
Yep,
that we're
with the
changing.
state and just getting ahead. And then one of the things that Brian mentioned to me offline is that one of the things that was brought to my attention is that when we were going through it, is that we do not allow smoking on town grounds now.
Yeah.
And that was not stated in this ordinance. So we just got that in the ordinance to codify the ordinance, even though all our signs and everything has already been doing that for years and years.
Cool. Okay. Any questions or comments on N3? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item N4, make a motion to award a contract for the purchase of 10 portable radios and accessories to Motorola Solutions of Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, at a total contract price of $59,150-50.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Kathy?
These are for our radios for our police department, and the estimated value is $59,150, and funds were included in our capital budget, and it was off the State of Connecticut Master Contract A-99001.
Okay, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item N5, make a motion to award a contract for the purchase of portable and mobile radios and accessories to J&S Radio Sales, Inc. of Willimantic, Connecticut, a total contract price not to exceed $100,000.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Kathy?
The estimated value of this contract is $100,000, and the contract award for the radios would be under the State of Connecticut contract. And I think this is also pretty straightforward. It's for radios, portable and mobile radios for our fire department.
Okay, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item N6, make a motion to award a contract for the purchase of one 2024 Western Star heavy-duty dump truck to Western Star, Connecticut of East Hartford at a purchase price of $283,072.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Kathy?
This would be to purchase a new dump truck that would replace a 1998 heavy-duty dump truck. Funds in the amount of $280,000 were included in the capital budget, and this award includes installation of a dump buddy and other accessories once the cab and the chassis are delivered. And although Western Star submitted the highest bid, it was the only bid that closely matched the town's bid specifications. And also, they were able to deliver it as quick as anyone else was, and I mean, way before anyone else, which is important to us.
Questions or comments? Only one. How many years have we been looking to purchase this truck?
Quite a bit.
Many
Can we get Russ back up here?
Many, many years.
Yes,
Now,
quite a bit,
at least 3 years.
yeah.
And so can I?
Okay.
So we had budgeted for 280 for this, and so it's just slightly. So okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Good. No
Yeah,
question.
just like, okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
And 7, make a motion to award a contract for the purchase of white treated road salt for the 2023-2024 winter season to Morton Salt, Inc. of Palatine, Illinois, at a purchase price of $67.94 per ton.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Kathy?
This is to supply white treated road salt, which will be used by the Highway and Grounds Division on snow and ice-covered roads and sidewalks during the upcoming winter. It's estimated that the town will use 750 tons during this winter season, bringing the value of the contract to $50,955,000. We have money budgeted in the Highway and Grounds operating budget for this purpose, and the contract was under a state of Connecticut contract.
Great. Any questions or comments?
So we're moving away from that other stuff we were using for the last couple of years, Russ? The green chemicals?
Same.
Oh, this is a different supplier. Thanks.
Morton salts, just like your table salt.
That's what I was figuring.
There's more of it.
Put a little bit on my steak.
And
Okay.
green.
And green. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item N8, I make a motion that section 55-1 of the Town Code of Ordinances be waived and that Litchfield Ford of Litchfield, Connecticut be awarded a contract to supply one used 2022 Ford Transit van with a reading service body at a cost of $65,440.
Second.
A motion and a second. Kathy?
The 22-23 capital budget contained funds to purchase a van for the capital projects unit of the Highway and Grounds Department. Since May of 2022, town staff has been attempting to locate a van to purchase without success. The effort to obtain a van included contacting vendors on the state of Connecticut vehicle contract and putting out a town bid. Recently, it has been brought to our attention that Litchfield Ford had a used 2022 Ford Transit van for sale. Town staff examined the vehicle and found that it closely follows our bid specification requirements and is in good mechanical condition. In addition, the vehicle has an enclosed reading service body already installed. As a result of this van meeting, as a result of the van meeting town needs, we are requesting that the town council waive the bidding requirements and award a contract to Litchfield Ford in the amount of $65,440 for the acquisition of the van, and funds are available in our capital improvement budget. And again, this is more of an issue of, again, supply chain issues and getting vehicles and things. And it looks like this one was available and it meets our specifications.
Questions or comments? So without purchasing this van, we have no van. I mean, this is really our only option.
You know you're opening the door again.
I won't ask any questions.
Are you good to have a question for me, too?
Nope.
Oh, you're good? I couldn't resist, Rafina. I just couldn't resist. So we've been looking for a van for a couple of years now, and the van that we have has many Band-Aids on it. It is to replace our building maintainer's van, and we looked, Jim's been going crazy, and we've had our mechanics looking, everyone's been looking, and this is not something you can find anymore. And Joe and I have talked about it extensively. This is one that just, our mechanic actually found it, went up, took a look at it, and it's good. It'll do everything that we need it to do. it's just, they're not available. And it's what we got, so, and the van, literally the van that we have is probably 12?
20.
Yeah, so we're almost 20 years. Yeah, there's really not much left to it, so it is what it is, but there are no vans available. And to order one, it takes forever, so,
Okay.
all right,
Thank you.
you good?
Any other questions?
I have one question.
Russ already left, so what's the question?
Actually, an actual question. Was the budget, what we put in the budget, pretty close to this? The other one was supposed to be for a new van, so I imagine we're saving a little money with this van?
We have the money, but it's not what we budgeted. We're using it, everything we got, we're robbing from Peter and paying Paul.
Let's pay Paul.
So it's one of those,
I just wanted to ask, sorry.
yeah, no, it's, they're not available. So
Yeah.
as Kathy said, it's supply and demand, and there is no supply and a high demand. So
Price.
the cost of everything has gone way up. So that's, it is what it is. So we're using funding from a couple sources in our capital program.
Glad you found it.
Yeah, fortunate.
Yeah.
So, good?
Great.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Motion a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item N9, that the following appropriation transfers be made from and to the accounts listed below for the fiscal year 2022-2023 general fund budget.
Second.
Have a motion a second. Kathy?
As you know, every September or so, we do transfers, and these transfers are needed to cover overages in various department budgets as part of the end-of-the-year closeout. There's a narrative on each of them that Joe had gone through and the budget, but I'll just kind of go through the summary for you, is that, in summary, fiscal year 2022-2023, general fund revenues exceeded budgeted amounts by $2,415,795, and expenditures were less than budgeted amounts by $653,663, resulting in a positive result of operations totaling $3,069,459. When this amount is added to the unassigned fund balance, it increases the general fund unassigned fund balance to $21,837,425, or 18.01% of the operating budget. So we had really a spectacular year on the revenue, and we did well on the expenditure side. Many of the expenditure side, why we had a good year, is because of personnel. It was difficult to fill positions, so we had some vacancies, so that we picked up some savings there. On the revenue side, the one thing we did receive a grant that was unexpected. It's called the Municipal Revenue Sharing Grant, which we have not been receiving for years, and we did receive that grant. So that did help us on the revenue side too. And so, but in general, you can see our accounts did really quite well. And I thank Joe and everyone, his staff, for really putting together a good budget and closing out the year for us.
Great, thank you. This is very good information, very good news. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
These are positive numbers. We like them. Okay. We have a motion, a second. If there are no other questions or comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Agenda item N10, to cancel the September 26, 2023 town council meeting.
I guess. Second.
Kathy. Okay. We have a motion, a second. Any discussion for canceling our September meeting? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Agenda item N11, to approve the following the attached property tax refunds.
And they are the property tax refunds that were left on your places, correct?
Yes.
The
Yes,
updated
yeah,
one.
I
Second.
left them, yep.
We have a motion, a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Our next item will be going into executive session, and we will be recording at this point. So before we leave, our comment or quote for the night is from General Jimmy Doolittle. There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer. With that, item O.
Make a motion to move the executive session to discuss matters concerning the sale or acquisition of real property, to adjourn the meeting to executive session as permitted by Connecticut General Statutes, Section 1-225, subsection A, for the following purposes as allowed by Section 1-206. That is, and in attendance would be the town council members and the town manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We are in executive session.